as I can do with this version of the stream that goes to the, what's it called? The shorty short, the vertical. It says that I can stack it. It says that I can put it one thing on top of the other, and I am not seeing that as an option. So it looks like the up on top of each other version of the shorty short stream, nope, not gonna happen. But anyway, that's all right. That is a nice to have. That is not a have to have. Y'all, hey, we're getting into it. Here's your blanket trigger warning. We're getting into it. We're getting into it. If you are not tuned in to what's been going on in the astrological community over the past couple days, couple 3 days, couple 4 days, I will do my best to give you a quick overview, and I will just encourage you to go read everything for yourself and go listen to everything for yourself, because a lot of what happens when you just share, like, here's what went down, is you come to conclusions and you come to bullet points that, by nature of the fact that you're summarizing, miss some of the nuance that might get picked up if you are to experience it for yourself. But first, before I get into any of that, I'm Bonnie Gillespie. We're also going to do some chart harmony today. We're going to talk about these eclipses, and they are already eclipsing. Have you hugged yourself today? Even if you have, do it again because it feels good. Happy Jupiter Day. Woo! Yes, it is definitely Leo season, with the South Node all over that Leo. Get that shadow side. Shadow side, such an interesting topic, the shadow. That's kind of what kicked this all off. Now, y'all know I've been on the Ricky Williams show a couple of times. Ricky is first of all, famous for one of the most, if not the most, historic NFL draft situation ever. He's also famously famous for having been Heisman winner, top to NFL draft situation, refusing to stop using cannabis as his medicine in an era when that shit got you in trouble. And that shit got him in trouble, and he ended up having to leave the NFL, and he started a cannabis company, like you do. And he also is a brilliant astrologer. And I have, in the 2 times that I have been on the Ricky Williams show as a part of Andrea Gare's channel, the Moira Press, one of the times was amazing and wonderful, and one of the times I was like, ow, 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 ow. Ricky doesn't mind prickly. Rickly, prickly. That's pretty good. Ricky doesn't mind Uranusing things up. That is not disruptive to him. And so when Ricky had Stephen Forrest, legendary astrologer, legendary boomer generation, straight white dude astrologer, had him on his different show, different channel, on the app that they co-created. They are business partners and have been for a decade, I think. The conversation was about this work that they're going to be doing as a part of a shadow reveal, the work that you are to do when honoring and uncovering your shadow work astrologically. And Stephen used the N-word full on out. And I'll stop right there and say, not okay. Not in 2026, not in 1996, not in 1966, when Stephen was definitely around. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Ever. Period. Because it is a word that represents harm. It doesn't matter how you mean it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the podcast was released, and that of course includes a bunch of decisions that were made that include, yeah, we're gonna do this. And there has been a release of a video. Let me see here. If you actually go to your YouTube and just put in Stephen Forrest astrology and then change the filter. There's a filter on search if you don't know it. This filter right here allows you to change how long ago it was put up. I put this week when I put in Stephen Forrest astrology, because there's also a Stephen Forrest something, musician something, and I was able to get basically the sense of everything that I wanted to see. And you see I've popped in on some of these and taken a look at what's been said. But one of the things that has been released very recently is he responds to the outrage over his use of the N-word with Ricky. And, one of the things that happened right away was folks said, we got a situation here, because Stephen is supposed to be doing a whole bunch of big stuff at UAC, which is a big astrological conference, professional conference taking place in Chicago in September 2026. And UAC immediately issued a statement saying, we're not going to act yet, but we're taking some time to discuss what we're going to do. And of course that brought some displeasure from people who said, you shouldn't take this long to need to figure out what to do. His panel canceled, his talk canceled, his after show workshops canceled, that is what a lot of the uproar was, that it doesn't take a lot of time to make this decision. But bodies that involve panels of people to make decisions do move slowly. That's just part of the nature of what they do. That said, organizations like Aya and ISAR and NCGR and list, like if you subscribe to astrology professional organization newsletters, your inbox exploded over the past few days with all the official stance on all the things. The initial apology, and air quotes for a reason, that Stephen put out said basically, I am sorry, and I'm not a racist. Ask Ricky. And if that's not, I got black friends, I don't know what is. I mean, but also you ask Ricky puts Ricky in charge of how everyone should feel about this. And also, as I've already mentioned, Ricky is not at all struggling with Uranus energy disrupting the status quo. This is what was posted, and this is the pop astrologist at Instagram who, posted it and shared her thoughts. Appalled and saddened by the upset my words have created. I apologize for my lack of judgment. And then immediately, please consider the context. So that's, I apologize, please consider the context. Nope. Do you apologize? Yes or no? Consider the context means you don't think you need to apologize. I'm confused. Discussing history, demonic inward. So he got, the demon up in there. Should have said the N-word instead. I apologize for that moment of injudiciousness. Cancel me if you want. Oh no. Cancel me. Don't say cancel me. But don't call me racist. That's simply not true. There was nothing racist about the podcast, quite the opposite. And then, like I said, ask Ricky. So this is, of course, I commented, does ChatGPT advise that boomers reference their black friends when issuing self-centering non-apologies? Stop digging, man. Wow. So this new conversation posted 16 hours ago, so I'm not exactly sure when they shot it, but it does maybe a little bit more to explain. But here's the part that I want to underscore. What we're contending with right now is, as I mentioned last week, in the South Node moving to Leo, North Node moving to Aquarius, and it wasn't last week, it was like 2-3 weeks ago. Last week was the Out of Bounds episode, not the point Gillespie. As I mentioned in a previous live stream, these nodal situations that we're in right now are all about this right here. No, I do not want to update my AstroGold software, not ever, on this computer, because this computer has an old operating system, and once I update AstroGold on this computer, I can't use it anymore. So we're sticking with years ago version of AstroGold on this particular computer. So here's where we're at. We got the North Node in Aquarius, And when you're like, wait, it's been here for a while, it's 29 degrees, the nodes move backwards. The nodes are math, and they math backwards, like a lot of math does. Nodes are at 29 degrees, which is basically 0 degrees, having just come brand new into Aquarius after having been in Pisces for the past 18 and a half months. And right across the way, Leo, because the nodes travel backwards and always opposite to one another. So they are in sign pairs, and they are where the eclipses will be eclipsing for 18 and a half months. And we get a full cycle all the way around every 18 and a half years. Ain't that cute? So we are headed into the eclipse season, which is the topic of today's conversation, of the Leo Aquarius axis. And yet, like it happens a lot of times in our situations with the nodes shifting, we have a little bit of a relay race where the baton has already been handed over to Aquarius and Leo for the eclipses, and Pisces, Virgo is going by, but we got to do one more lap of Virgo Pisces, and actually we got to do another one in 2027, but we'll get to that in 2027. For now, it's important to note that just this shift of the nodes into Leo Aquarius, as I mentioned in a previous live stream, which I will link in the description when I edit for time code and all that good stuff, the South Node is a drain of energy. The South Node takes what we've got and says it's taking more energy to do this than it used to. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. And that's how I also remember which one's the South Node, which one's the North Node. The North Node is the one that could possibly look like an N. And the South Node, there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. If you don't know that reference, you're not Gen X, but I promise it is a really good symbol for the South Node. There's going to be a drain of energy on the Leo side of things for 18 and a half months. And here we are right before the first eclipse. The first eclipse happens less than a week from now. And this first eclipse happening in Leo season, Aquarius moon, we're in this situation where South Node, drain of Leo, idols, gurus, self-centering. And I don't know what's more self-centering than a boomer white dude in these streets. I mean, that's it. That's it. To get the drain of energy going there. And as I mentioned in the live stream a couple weeks ago on this, what it is calling for us to do with Aquarius in the North Node in Aquarius, turning up the volume on Aquarius, the collective, the group, the progress, where we're headed as a collective and not an individual. Leo, self-centering. The sun is the ruler of Leo. They ain't no, that is as big ego as it gets. And I am not, don't come at me saying I just said that all Leos have big ego. I didn't say that. I'm saying being ruled by the sun, Leo is uniquely positioned. It is the only one ruled by the sun. It is uniquely positioned to say, put me in the center, because that's what its ruler does. And over here we've got Aquarius, North Node, calling for more energy this way. And what I said before that I think is the way I want to keep phrasing this is, instead of going, how do I take care of me, Leo? It goes, how do I take care of the collective of which I am a part? Of which I am a part. And that's what the big wrong with that first apology from Stephen Forrest was for me and for a lot of people. That apology did not come from a place of, I've done harm. Wow, I didn't realize the level of harm that would do. And let's hit pause on, how could you imagine that wouldn't create harm? Where have you been the past decade, if we're going to excuse the decades before that paying attention? But again, there's that white male privilege is a real thing. Who am I telling that to? Y'all know, you live here, you look around, but there's I don't have to look around the same kind of way when I'm a white dude. And that apology came from, uh-oh, I might be canceled, I better say I'm sorry. And that's Leo. If the apology had come from Aquarius, which is, wow, I did something that harmed the collective. I did something that harmed the astrological community I have given my life to. I have done something that created harm and extended the harm that's been created for eons because I'm that unaware and unplugged in to what power my language might have and the choice of words would have. I'm so embarrassed that I wasn't aware. I am now. And grant me grace, I'll do better. And also I understand there have to be consequences to bad behavior. That is a I'm here, hat in hand, sincerely apologizing, Aquarius North Node style. But we didn't see that. So there are all sorts of memes out there. There are all sorts of, I heard, I haven't seen it, that Patrick Watson created a bingo card for UAC that is all sorts of fun and hilarious. Was it Celeste? Lovely Celeste did her episode today. Celeste, why is your last name? Why is your last name Celeste not coming to the tip of my tongue? Because your username is Astrology by Celeste. You're not helping me with your last name, but that Celeste is amazing, and Astrology by Celeste, go to her channel. She's got a really great one that she put up also yesterday. There's a lot of people talking on this, as there should be, and I suspect there will be a lot of people talking on this for a good long while. So with that, where have you noticed that the South Node is already draining energy in your Leo parts of life? Where have you already noticed? I mean, the big story of Leo South Node transiting, not natal, Leo South Node is heroes fall. People we've put up on a pedestal, people we have given guru status to, people we have respected, start to show us what they're actually wearing back there. What's going on behind that curtain? And that little dog just pulled that curtain over, and we go, oh, that's a scared little man pushing a whole bunch of buttons to make that big Oz head talk. What are you witnessing that feels like big reveals are coming? Personally, I am noticing a whole bunch of it's getting faster and faster, and where's my popcorn in the news, in the wow, he's not getting his way constantly. Cheeto in chief not always on the right side of everything because of all the things that he's rigged to make sure that he's on the right side of everything. And by right side, I don't mean correct. It's happening in lots of ways, and it's happening fast. So why is it happening fast? Why does this stuff happen so quickly once it gets started? Well, that's going to be part of all the things that we've got happening, and this is where I got to change my preferences to display not quite so many of the extras. Let's go here. There. I took away some of my extras because I had a lot of the thing I do with Rachel Lang on in our Astrology for Creatives ongoing mastermind, Aligned MCs, ain't that cute, has a lot. We work with a lot of extras. We work with Black Moon Lilith and Hygeia and Eris, a bunch of different stuff. But with this, let's just take a look at the more basic chart wheel and the accessories that we are used to seeing. We've got, of course, Pluto in Aquarius, been there for a minute. Neptune newly to Aries, definitely experiencing that. Even more recent occurrence, getting Uranus over in Gemini. Fast. Jupiter booking it through Leo. And we just had Venus move into Libra. Are we at my Mercury return right this second? Yep, we sure are. We're in my Mercury return. Just like seriously 40 minutes ago. Lovely. All right. So everything is moving fast because everything is in fast signs. Aquarius, air sign, fast. Aries, Saturn and Neptune in there. Aries, super fast, like explosion fast. Gemini, Uranus there, Mars there, fast, and explosive. Leo, fire sign, fast. Leo not fast. Leo, fixed sign, fire, so it's more like a fire pit. It can't move, but it can go really big. It can take up a lot of space, and as mentioned before, Leo being ruled by the sun, you're gonna know it's there. You are never surprised a Leo has entered the room. That is never something that sneaks up on you. A Leo entering, my chart ruler's in Leo, believe me, I get it. That Leo entering the room, you're gonna feel that. But all of these moving fast, that's part of what is whipping up some of the stuff. It's one of the reasons I was really glad that we got Chiron giving us a preview over here in Taurus, and I also have a live stream about Chiron in Taurus and what to expect. It's part 1 of 2. No, I've not done part 2 yet. That is coming because we're going to do one on like your natal Chiron, and especially for folks having their Chiron return coming up here in Taurus, that's going to be a biggie. But Chiron moving into Taurus help us slow down just a little around some of the generational healing stuff. And this is where one of the big things that we're seeing with the Stephen Forrest issue is a lot of boomer versus youngers than me, not even millennials. Like I'm Gen X, not millennials. It's the Gen Z. It's the young up and comer astrologers. There is this speed of expected adaptation that exists in people whose natal Pluto is up in the more swiftly adaptive signs. And it is a signature of the boomer generation with Pluto in Leo to find it very difficult to change and almost impossible to change quickly. That is the okay boomer, because it's just like, you're not going to change. You're not even going to try to change. You're not even going to see that there's a way that you might need to change. Got it. That's a lot of what that energy is. And so, especially as right now, so much in the astrological landscape, in the wooscape, there's so much that is moving so quickly for all of us that we're getting a sense of how comfortable are we around that fast moving energy. And if you're someone whose chart is largely mutable, you're like, I move like this all the time. If you've got Cancer rising, you are used to changing up how you feel about everything every damn minute, because constant change. The moon is constantly changing, even though the moon itself, Cancer itself, not a mutable sign, not a planet that represents mutability, except for the fact that she is changing signs constantly, and she's changing shape constantly. And Elon Musk let some of his garbage fall on the moon, and I don't mean fall, bump into, crash into. I know this is out there, not new information. I had a dream like 5 years ago, like even before he bought and killed Twitter. I had a dream that he blew up the moon. And I remember writing in my journal, I remember talking about it in therapy. I was so fucking pissed. I was like, Elon Musk is going to blow up the goddamn moon. I was mad. I'm still mad. Mad at him about a lot of things, because this is where I say, if the world's wealth were evenly distributed, if right this second we took all the money that exists with all the people in the world, of which Elon has a big chunk, and distributed it evenly among all households, the annual household revenue would be $750,000. Let that sink in. What would your household do with an annual revenue of $750,000? So when you can't wrap your brain around what is a billionaire, what is a trillionaire, that. So anyway, I looked up what ended up happening with Elon's trash dumping on the moon this week, and I actually got to see an animation of all the space garbage that we've left out there that is in the Earth orbit, and it's small, but it's garbage. And the astronomer that was talking about it said we really need to like kind of have a policy on what we're going to do with, like, you know, our feces, our waste when we're in these space explorations. What do we do with parts that we don't need when we jettison them off of our rockets and such? Because they do get in our gravitational orbital realm and they're just hanging there, and we probably should take better care of the environment. And I'm like, you think you're going to get people in this Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth timeline to start taking better care of stuff they can't even see with the naked eye? I can't. This is, again, slow to change. And then we have the younger generations coming up with peppier, more mutable Virgo, Pisces, and then we got our Libra, Virgo, Pisces, Virgo, Pluto. That is a P word. Sorry, menopause mouth is big today. We got Virgo, Pluto saying change, heal. It's why we're here. Gen X, let's do it. We've got the millennials with our Libra and a little bit of our Scorpio, Pluto situation. That Pluto Scorpio is like, we're going to transform, and we're going to transform all the way to the ground. And we're going to do it big. We're going to do big transform. We're going to bring all those taboos out. And even though Scorpio, Pluto, you would think, well, that's another fixed sign like Leo, so it should also move slowly. Anyone who's ever known a Scorpio knows it goes deep. That change is all the way through all the cells. It's intense, and it may take a minute for it to happen, but it is complete. It is complete. For real, for real. I would love to find out, those of you who are here in the chat, how this is all landing with you. Do you have big feelings about what's going on? If you are here for the first time, welcome. I'm Bonnie Gillespie. My company is Chart Harmony. My business is Chart Harmony. My company is Cricket Feet Inc. Cricket feet, like the bug's toes. Feet. You have to be a subscriber to comment in my live chat. That is a setting that I have on. I probably could have adjusted that for today, but I did not. It's a setting that I have on because, you know, come stay a minute. And if you're like, I'm just now subscribing, when can I chat? 8 minutes. That's it. You got to hang out for 8 minutes and then you can chat after you subscribe. So please feel free. I would love to hear from you. Those folks in my life that have big Leo already feeling that South Node requiring more naps, requiring more recovery time, requiring a whole lot more space for all the things and the energetic drain around that. And personally, I am loving North Node in Aquarius. It's in a part of my chart that's otherwise empty and kind of lonely. And I really like the turn up to how can we do this differently? How can we look at it with a whole different lens? How can we think more in the we and less in the me? I love that. My Libra stellium always looking at like, well, what do you want? What do you want? And so for me, this is just a shift from the one, what do you want, to the more. What do y'all want? What do y'all want? And I'm good with that. I'm good with that. All right. I realize my power bill is going to be like seriously $300 this month. I have been living in here because this is the room that we could turn on a window AC. Oh, and you can just see my dog has been pouncing on all the pillows behind me. Y'all, the rule with eclipses is, yes, it's likely they will exhaust you. Yes, people are more accident prone. Ask anyone who works in emergency rooms or emergency response worlds. Eclipses bring lots more volume. The intensity is there. The surprise is there. There are some people who say, do not do any kind of magical workings or spells or intention setting during the eclipses. These are not your standard new moon, full moon situations. The energy is too intense. I do cover my crystals. I will occasionally do some spell work if I really know that I want some eclipse energy baked in to that chart. Because what you're doing anytime you're creating a spell for any reason. And by the way, every breath is a spell. So don't think I've gone full witchy when I'm explaining spell. Spell is intention. A spell is an affirmation. A spell is I wish. It's finding an eyelash and blowing it. It's all the things. Wishbone, dandelion, all of it. Wish, spell. Birthday cake candles. Spell. When we bake into the birth chart of an intention or a spell or a relationship, an eclipse, we are baking in energy of intensity and unexpected happenings, because that is a signature of what the eclipses are and what they do. If you know someone who has a birth chart that is big eclipse, like Cheeto in Chief, like Cheeto in Chief, they are disruptive and unexpected and intense. Big yes, big yes, big yes. Not everybody who has an eclipse in their birth chart is going to be that obvious, that obtuse, that specific way, because it depends on what signs the nodes are in, the eclipses happen in. These that we're experiencing right now of Aquarius, Leo, are going to activate that juxtaposition between the me and the we. The self-centering, like, oh God, I have to apologize, Stephen Forrest, because I have taken a hit. They don't understand me. I need to be understood. That's very important, Leo. Versus, I've done harm. The collective is aching. Maybe as a leader, I have some words that could soothe that, Aquarius. I am a part of the collective, Aquarius. Not, I have been misunderstood. Let me fix it, Leo. Yeah, I have so many examples I could share, and I also do not feel the need to run the list of all the things that are very specifically aligned with this energy. Are you already feeling the parts of your chart where Leo and Aquarius reside to be different than they were a month ago? Because for the 18 and a half months before this, we had the nodes in Pisces, Virgo. Pisces, Virgo, very different. North Node Pisces says turn up the mysticism, turn up the ancestral communication, turn up the escapism, turn up the magic, turn up the creative arts, the musicality, the new story, the foreverness, the vastness that is Pisces time. Like, what is time? Like, Pisces knows time's not linear. Time's actually just something we all agree to call a certain thing. There's a great article from 6 years ago called The Tyranny of Time. Seriously, one of my favorite articles. I reread it at least once a year because it is so good. Yeah, time. Pisces, North Node, big timelessness energy. South Node, Virgo, it became exhausting for the past 18 and a half months to itemize all the details of all the things that need healing. Yeah. For real. Itemizing all the things. What is Virgo great at? I got a checklist. I am seeing every flaw. This is not me picking on Virgos. This is me saying that Virgo South Node is going to itemize every flaw because the assignment is fix all this, heal all this, don't miss a thing. And while we were in Virgo Pisces axis and those eclipses were happening in between those two relationships, we saw increase in spirituality, increase in escapism, increase in artistry, increase in why are we talking about time as if it's linear, and exhaustion around itemizing all the ways that people are being gross. I'm just thinking of the regime at present. And look, I'm getting mast cell activation / hot flash just by talking like that. So back on, AC. You got a break. You got a little break. You got a little break. Right? So as we now shift into this Leo Aquarius dynamic, and we are turning up the collective, the unique, the outside the box, the how can we look after everybody? How can we slow your roll on AI because we can, and maybe make it AI that creates a better experience for everyone, not just the billionaires. Billionaires are over there in the Leo South Node side of things, getting drain. It's going to be harder and harder and harder and harder to be that guy over the next 18 and a half months. I'm not mad at that. Nope, not mad at that at all. How about you? If you've got the big three, your life car, if you know Chart Harmony, you know the life car. I will put a link to that conversation in the description when I edit for time code later. The life car is your driver. That's your rising sign. And really, the ruler of your rising sign, your chart ruler, behind the wheel. Navigator, sitting over here riding shotgun with you. The navigator, I've got the map. That's your sun. I've got, depending on what sign it is, I've got a map. I've got the GPS. I've got my intuition telling me where we're going. I've got directions scribbled on a gum wrapper. Again, depends on what sign your sun is, but I got the directions. I'm going to navigate. And then the backseat driver, that's your moon. Your moon is in charge of making sure all the needs are met, making sure, hey, do we need to take a rest stop? Did everybody eat? Is everybody comfortable? And again, depending on what sign that is, your backseat driver could sleep the whole trip. Your backseat driver could literally be like, not literally, figuratively be, hey, turn there, go there, what's over there, again, depending on what sign your moon is. But that life car going through your entire life, rising, driving, sun, navigating, moon, backseat driver, making sure the needs are met. That trio, if any of it, or the ruling planet of your entire life car, so the ruling planet of your rising sign, if any of that is Leo, chart ruler Leo, there is a drain happening, there is an energy pull, there is a unmasking of some of these sun-centered, put on a pedestal types. This is, again, the fall of Stephen Forrest. We will forever talk about this moment in astrological history. And Stephen Forrest is someone who was already famous for all of his good works, for all of his books, for all of his contribution to the field. All of that is still true today, but in this Leo South Node situation, we are all more aware of Stephen Forrest than we were a week ago. And there are people who had never, ever, ever heard of Stephen Forrest who now have a very strong opinion about Stephen Forrest. That Leo South Node transit happening, that drain of energy, that intensity of the eclipses happening in Leo Aquarius, creating that uncentering after self-centering that is Leo. So if your life car has any of these components, Leo, please give yourself more rest, hydration, bubble wrap. I say this for every eclipse season, no matter what signs they're in. We need more rest because we're going to be more exhausted. Moon shit is always exhausting. Eclipses draw our energy, whatever signs they're happening in. So rest more. Budget for more downtime between the things you always do. Like you go, wow, why do I need to rest after a Zoom? I just Zoomed. Why do I need a nap? Because you do. Eclipse season every year, 2 times a year, just go ahead and block that off and go boop, boop. In fact, did I put it here? Did I put it here? I think I did. Hang on. Hold, please. I think I've got a thing I want to share with y'all. I think I do. I do. All right. Hang on. Oh, that's big. I'm not sharing screen yet, so it's okay that it's big. I'm gonna make it smaller. No, I'm gonna make it smaller. Hey, I'm gonna make it smaller. Don't, dude. I'm acting like I got a voice-activated mouse, and I really don't. Okay, y'all, for real, for real. This is from Honeycomb. Honeycomb is a fabulous, wonderful company that puts out resources. If you go to honeycomb.co/resources, you will be able to partake in this as well as many, many, many other wonderful, lovely things that they share. This is free for non-commercial use, so I'm not charging you to see this. There you go. I also, of course, will include a link in the description when I edit a little later. But you can see our eclipses right here and here. Look at, I want you to see this. Look at all the stuff that Mercury is doing around this first eclipse. Look at all the shit that Venus is doing around this first eclipse. Luckily, Mars is doing big things right now. Yeah, hello Mars. Got you, Mars. No, Sun, trine Saturn. I was like, wait, Mars is not trining Saturn. Like, no, I saw red and said Mars. Seriously, menopause, you're hilarious. Okay, no, Mars moving into Cancer next week. My natal Mars is in Cancer. I just can't. Oh, y'all, come on, Mars in Cancer. Okay, look, Mars in Cancer. Mars loves to cut a bitch. My job is make sure that bitch ain't me. Mars in Cancer, it's often me. Mars comes into every sign and says, hey, I'm here to go to war. I'm here to fire up your passion. What weapons do you have for me? You know, Mars shows up in Capricorn and is given an entire library of the history of every weapon that has ever existed, and they are sharp, they are ready. Whatever you want, it's like the Matrix, like opening up there's all the guns. Whatever you need, they're right there, Mars, go grab them. But in Cancer, Mars comes in and says, where's my weapons? And Mars goes, Cancer goes, here's a kitten. And Mars is like, nope, that's not a weapon. Oh, no, sharp claws. No, Cancer, that's not a weapon. So Cancer goes, hang on. Oh, I'm knitting a sweater, knitting needles. Yeah? And Mars goes, no. I mean, yeah, I guess technically, but fuck. All right, so just Mars moving into Cancer, we're all gonna get a little emotion about our weaponry for a little bit. But just look at all we're headed into with this gorgeous eclipse coming. Leo Aquarius, 20 degrees on the 12th of August, with all this Mercury happening and all this Venus happening and this Sun trine Saturn retrograde that we're experiencing right this hot second. All right, y'all. So for real. Now, if you got stuff in Aquarius, it's getting turned up. So back to the life car. You've got that driver and therefore chart ruler of the driver, right? If that's Aquarius, or if your ruler is, because Aquarius, either. So this is where I go. I do traditional astrology, and yet there's a good argument for Uranus having a lot to do with how we Aquarius. But I would always put an asterisk on that because it's a daddy Saturn. It's just daddy Saturn's got 2 kids, Capricorn and Aquarius. Capricorn, straight A student, brings home that report card right on time, says, let me get you a pen to sign off on it, daddy. Daddy Saturn, thank you. I'm so happy to live by this structure. It helps me be excellent. And Aquarius is over there going, I get your rules. I'm going to need to rebel. I'm going to need to say the way you know these rules work, Daddy Saturn, is by me showing you where they can be tested. And so, yes, that is Uranus causing disruption, but it is also big Daddy Saturn. Let me show you how your rules don't work. Love it. So, Aquarius, if that is your driver of your life car, if Aquarius is your sun, the navigator in your life car, if Aquarius is backseat driver, hanging out your moon in the back of the car there on this life car journey, you're going to feel it turned up. It's turned up. Yes, all eclipses rest, hydrate, bubble wrap. Rest because things are going to take more out of you. Hydrate because moon shit. Always hydrate. Always hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Always. Can't say it without doing it. Love it. Bubble wrap. Because we are going to be accident prone. We are going to bump into things that we were not expected. I am absolutely certain there is no part of Stephen Forrest's brain that went, we're about to do something that could be problematic. I'm also equally certain, having been on the Ricky Williams show a couple of times, that Ricky was absolutely certain something was going to happen or could happen. And that's okay. This is why I encourage everyone to go experience all of this for yourself rather than looking at the bullet points and deciding how you feel about a thing. But what we are absolutely experiencing is Leo South Node, idols fall, celebrities, like the whole Jared Leto thing. It's like, first of all, hi, been in show business my whole life. Nobody in show business surprised about the Jared Leto thing. Nobody. And that's kind of the stuff that's happening with South Node Leo. Stuff that looks a certain kind of way, curtain getting pulled back, more people becoming aware of the open secret. And of course, I'm like, why do we have open secrets? Why do we have secrets? I mean, I know, I understand. And also, I've been mad at the industry ever since Me Too didn't do as much as it was supposed to do a decade ago. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's happening. It is. It is. It is. Aquarius is my backseat driver. Rain. So are you feeling turned up about your lovely Aquarius moon? And thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. That Aquarius backseat driver going, let me play with the, do you have the child-proof lock on? I want to play with the door. I want to do the window. I want to test out what I can do back here in this back seat. What's this headliner made of? Can I write in the, can I put a message on the window, on the back windshield? Can I do this when we go by an 18-wheeler and get them to honk? Why are y'all so upset about all the things, says Aquarius. Come on, lighten up. And you're probably listening to a wonderful playlist, right? Yeah, love it. Love it. Susan, hello. Oh, Susanna, Susie, hi. Your name, I cut it off before I got to the whole of it. Hello, so glad you're here. Aquarius is my backseat driver too. Yes, she's feeling experimental, wanting change. Getting it. You're getting it. A whole bunch of it. A whole bunch of it. This is one of my favorite things about Aquarius. So let's talk about this fixed axis. Let me go share screen for a sec here. So the modalities are probably one of my favorite ways to take a look at the chart because, of course, the elements we know, we've got fire, we got earth, we got air, we got water, got it. 3 signs each, but we also have these modalities, and that's where we get this Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn are our cardinal signs. Those are the leaders. Those are the initiators. You then have Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius getting a lot of attention right now. Those are our fixed signs. Those are our upholders. They go, what is it? And let's keep what ising what it is, because that's what the upholders, the fixed signs, tend to do. And then we've got our mutable signs, which is going to be Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo. And the mutables are the flow goers. They're like constantly changing, constantly reinventing, and that shifting doesn't feel shifting to them because that's the water they live in. And I mean water not as an element, but as a metaphor for the mutability. The fun part about Aquarius as a fixed sign is Aquarius is also, of course, an air sign, and the air signs, yes, and the air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, all have to like hear it out. I will say to my non-air sign having husband, that's not true. His one air sign, his Venus is in Aquarius, which is of course why he's like, oh, I like Bonnie. I like her a lot because Libra stellium, I'm going to need to talk things out. We will say, I'll come to him and I'll say, I need to air sign things out. And he'll go, great. And he knows that means I need him to pay just enough attention to be able to yes and whatever it is that I got going on so I can figure out what it is that I mean and need and so forth. Aquarius, even though it's a fixed sign, which should mean uphold Daddy Saturn as ruler, these are the rules, uphold these rules like Capricorn, but Capricorn, of course, is going, how do I initiate? How do I lead with these rules? Over in Aquarius, we got Daddy Saturn's rules being tested out a bit because even though Aquarius isn't mutable, Aquarius is questioning. Aquarius is a big, but why? But why? But why? And what else could we do? Aquarius is the attorney. Aquarius is going to have refined inquiry, and Aquarius is going to have 10,000 ideas constantly. So for my lovely Susanna and Rain with backseat driver moon in your life car being Aquarius, y'all get a lot of that chatter, figure it out. You do. Okay. There's a lot of change that has been coming for me that revolves around my self-care and my third house, which is where my moon is located. Oh, you got the moon in House of Joy. We've talked about the houses of joy before. The moon loves being in the third house. That's like her favorite house to be in. So it's not quite as much as like the moon in Taurus is exalted, therefore that's her Beyonce placement. And when the moon is in Taurus, she's like, let me live here, please. I love it so much. Hi, moon in Taurus right now as we're having this conversation. That is by design. And also in the third house, she is so happy because this feels like the opportunity to do all that early childhood learning, educating, connecting, developing language, developing relationships, understanding the small world around, that comfort of the neighborhood. The moon loves being in the third house. So that's yummy. Yeah, you're super curious. Both of you with your Aquarius moons back there going, what am I going to change? What's going to be different? How are we going to rewrite some of these rules? And an Aquarius moon can be, and this is the part that's kind of hard to wrap your brain around sometimes, can be super intuitive, but not know how to connect to that. Tell me if that resonates. This is what I noticed in my Aquarius Venus husband. Also, because Aquarius is neck up. Aquarius is very brainy. Aquarius is very thinky. And the moon is, I feel, I intuit, I pick up on the emotions of, I am an empath for what everybody is feeling. I'm soaking in the feelings, and that is why I know what I know. I can synthesize that. And Aquarius is like, does not compute. Submit again, does not compute. And so one of the big, I don't even want to call it a challenge, one of the big assignments for or opportunities for Aquarius moon is get connected between the logic, the reason, all the ideas part of that Aquarius situation, and drop into, connect with that gut knowing, that intuitive response, that prickly feeling. It's where a book like The Gift of Fear would be really fantastic for something that is like high up here Aquarius, trying to drop in and understand where those feelings come from. Yes, that resonates. It's a very intellectual knowing versus an embodied one. That's the perfect way to say it, Susie. Thank you. Perfect. Yes, it is a known not an embodied feeling. Yes. So when I was first going through my mind-body healing work in 2018, I remember the first time I learned that I actually don't feel feelings. That was news. I said I have feelings all the time. And I was confusing something. I would have, I'm going to use a gender binary here that I don't buy into, but the label works really well for this example. And it's exactly what I said in 2018 was I have masculine thoughts, and those are thoughts. And then I have feminine thoughts. Those are feelings. It's like, but what are your feelings? And I'm like, the feminine thoughts, those are my feelings. No, that's not what a feeling is. It's still a thought. What is a feeling? And I was so cut off from my long-term relationship with vodka. I cannot believe I'm coming up on 10 years sober, y'all. I cannot believe, oh my God, I'm so excited. So excited. I'm going to do a live stream or a webinar or something on my top 10 lessons from 10 years sober. Stay tuned. That will be happening October 16th, 2026. God willing, I will get there. But this disconnect that I was experiencing between my thoughts and my feelings, between my being in a body and actually having feelings, it was by design. And I had gotten really good at playing feelings because I know that's what that's supposed to look like. Again, lifetime in showbiz. I know how to play feelings. I know what they're supposed to look like. But I wasn't actually having the feelings. And I still struggle with that. I still embrace the opportunity that is that. Again, see, Mars in Cancer. It's very risky to have feelings because you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. Yes, resonates 100%. Okay, Rain, thank you. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Rain. I appreciate that. So let's look at all of our collective opportunity around the Stephen Forrest situation and all growth that we're going to witness happening. I am endlessly amused and turned on by the fact that astrology is such a big punctuation mark for everything that we experience. I love that there's nothing subtle about shifting the nodes into South Node, Leo, North Node, Aquarius, and boom, the timing of this whole Stephen Forrest thing. I'm like, wow. And everybody who knows astrology enough to know Cheeto in chief, the regime, late stage capitalism, all the people that we're watching being, oh, let's kiss your ass. Oh, let's glaze you forever. Oh my God, no, you're so wonderful, billionaire, blah, 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 blah. We've been looking forward to this nodal shift because it means at its core, back behind the curtain. Emperor has no clothes. Reveal, reveal, reveal. That person you've put up on a pedestal. I saw somebody mention on like Blue Sky, because I haven't tweeted in many years. I closed that account when Elon bought the, but I probably saw this on Blue Ski. Although I may have seen this on, it doesn't matter. Gillespie, this is not the point. I saw somebody say, I am so over being constantly disappointed by men. Again, gender binary being used by this person. And one of the responses that I saw that I really enjoyed was, yeah, imagine if you put more women in roles of leadership, you would have the opportunity to maybe not be so disappointed in all these men that you've put in these positions of leadership that they never deserved. Privilege. And I would expand that to say non-binary. All genders other than the cis, straight, white dude of a certain age. Start with things like, I have to find it a very special book anymore to buy a book by an author who is dominant culture, because I look at my bookcases and go, I have enough of a library of old white dudes. I've heard enough of what they say and think, and believe we all think. Same with like what I watch on TV or streaming or wherever. I'm like, if the entire world is built around straight white dude, I'm good. I'm good. I've seen and I've witnessed enough of that content. And I don't just mean on camera. I mean the production crew, the realm of the showrunner, voices that have not been given as much space. Consider where you can do same if that at all feels Aquarius North Node to you. But what we are watching happening in real time is heroes falling, celebrities being exposed, more and more reality checks for that privilege. Like I said, where's my popcorn? Because I'm here for it. Take care of yourself. The eclipse is on the 12th and the 26th, I think. Let's look to be exact before we go. Last call for any questions, please, in the chat. Those of you who have newly subscribed, you just have to subscribe for 8 minutes and then you can join us in the chat. So just hit refresh if you've been here long enough that you should be able to chat, but it wasn't letting you because you hadn't subscribed long enough ago yet. And those of you watching in replay, hey, replay crew, comment, say hello, let me know what you're witnessing. So this is the eclipse of Wednesday, the 12th of August, 2026. As you can see, it is what would have been a new moon, but that ain't no new moon. It's a very special kind of new moon. That is, in fact, as we see here, our next solar eclipse. Right there, that new moon solar eclipse, 20 degrees, 1 minute Leo, with the South Node at 29 Leo, sitting on my chart ruler, on Regulus, on my Black Moon Lilith. Oh, why is my neck suddenly spasming as I'm saying this? Oh, because I slept in here on the pod. Okay, y'all, please, especially if Leo or Aquarius are a part of your life car, consider carefully what you're doing the day before, the day of, and maybe even the day after. But definitely, especially the day before. It is typically as we are moving toward the eclipse, as it is applying, that the energy can be most intense. And once we've had the eclipse and it separates, some of that pressure buildup begins to release. So it's a little less intense as we move from that. But I personally take every eclipse and go block it off on my calendar. Like my scheduler is at bonniegillespie.com/scheduler. And I block off the dates that are eclipses, and sometimes even the day before, depending on where it lands in my chart, just because it's just too much energy. And I don't mind adding things to my calendar later based on how I'm feeling and what those things are. But I don't want someone hopping on my schedule. Come on, let's do a coaching session. Let's drill down on something I want to be really intense about. No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to have to do that, because the eclipses do dehydrate us. They deplete our rest, our ability to recuperate from that, and they make people accident prone, and lots of intense happenings happen. So this is the one that we've got coming up first. And so especially if you have anything at 20 degrees, or I would say within a couple degrees, let's say orb of 3, so maybe 17 degrees to 23 degrees of the fixed signs. Fixed because then that means we're having either an opposition, a square, or conjunct situation, which those are the hard aspects. So if you've got fixed signs at 20, my Saturn is at 20 degrees Taurus. I didn't even think about that. Hello. I will be experiencing that one. Okay. Good to know. All right, cool. Luckily, I already have it blocked off because, like I said, I do that long before I'm even considering the astrology of it. I just go, eclipse, mark it off. Eclipse, mark it off. Closed that day. Closed for eclipse. I have clients who actually take sabbatical during eclipse season, and I'm like, I love that. Then the time between the eclipses can be extra prickly. And since this is happening across two axes, not just one axis, but two axes, because like I mentioned at the beginning, we've got that relay race baton being handed between the nodes in Aquarius Leo and back where they just were for 18 and a half months, Pisces Virgo, because the second eclipse of eclipse season is our lunar eclipse in Pisces. There we go. Pisces moon, 4 degrees, Virgo sun, 4 degrees. So this one is happening even though the nodes are over here in Leo and Aquarius. They didn't change. They're still in these fixed signs. This eclipse is happening during what would be full moon in Pisces. So during this lunar eclipse, during Virgo season, 4 degrees, we're looking at what do you have that is late degrees, like 29 degrees fixed because nodes, and what do you have that's near 4 degrees? So we'll go again 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees of the mutable signs, which means seriously, y'all, for these August eclipses, you're catching strays with every fixed and every mutable potential sign here. Cardinals, you get a break. Cardinals, you get a break. You know why? Because you survived Pluto in Capricorn for 16,000 years, squaring, opposing, or conjunct all your junk. And it was actually only 14 years, but it felt like forever. Okay, I'm still sore about that one. I'm still sore about that. All right, no last questions in the chat. Please take care of yourself. Oh, the actual timing of the eclipse that is at the end of the month, I did not give the exact on that. It is on the screen, but let me read it for those listening along. That one is going to be on August 27th at 9:18 p.m. Pacific. Hello, Mala Beads. Hello, my puppy dog is here. My puppy dog can tell that we're about to end. Mala, go to your spot. Go to your spot. Hey, where'd you go? Oh, you're stretching. Oh, that's a big stretch. That's a big stretch. Mala, go to your spot. Go to your spot. Yeah, go to your spot. Go. Go to your spot. He says, I don't want to. I want more scritches. Okay, so my dog is back here getting some scritches from me instead of going up to his spot to give us a Mala moment. Oh, well, that's how. Oh, there he is. There he is. You're seriously going to go just right off camera like that? Seriously? You're gonna make me oh, I got you. I got you. I can mutable my camera to get you. You are so, oh my God. I love him so much. I love him. It's my first dog, y'all. It's my first dog. I love him so much. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting to just like fall in love every single damn day with this dog. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me. We will continue to watch for developments in the Stephen Forrest situation. I will put the link to the video that was released by Ricky Williams and Stephen Forrest responding. I mean, you could see by the, y'all, seriously, you could see by just, Ricky leads off with, all right, so from what I hear, a lot of people are up in arms, and it's like, you're not even leading off with the, from what I hear, our conversation caused real harm. Our conversation was problematic. Nope. It's a lot of people are up in arms. Yeah, seriously. Show me you don't get it without telling me you don't get it. Listen more. Consider the uncomfortable truth that is, maybe I was wrong. I will end on a story from May of 2020. As close as 3 blocks from here, what I would have said at the time were riots were going on. I would have said that. What I now know is an action was being taken, activism was happening, attention getting was necessary. And I tweeted because as a small business owner, I watched, like, we seriously had helicopters and live footage and felt completely trapped watching so much being destroyed, and so much, just, it was hard to watch and to witness and to hear and have it come closer and closer. It was a lot. And I tweeted, I'm just so sad for these business owners who have just survived these first 3 months of COVID and are now losing everything. And someone responded to me on Twitter and said, Bonnie, I like you, I respect you, so I am going to take a moment to offer a different way of seeing things. And I was like, what? I know what I'm seeing. You don't have to give me a different way of seeing things. I'm seeing it with my own eyes. You don't have to give me, like, what? And she said, consider that when things have gotten so bad that the only way we can get anybody's attention is to have actions that turn into this. Consider the desperation that is felt for not having been heard. Because here we are with the murder of George Floyd, and nobody's upset enough about it. And I had a moment where I just went, ooh, ooh, oh, ooh, 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 ooh. And suddenly my eyes were open in a way that they weren't before. And I considered myself like, good white lady. And I went, oh, hang on. You're right. Because action like taking a knee gets criticized and not understood as a powerful bit of commentary. So riots are not riots. They're political actions. They are activism. That moment still sits with me because I felt everything go, and I looked at everything I had ever seen with a different lens, and everything going forward I've not been able to see through the lens that I had before. And what we are hoping for Stephen Forrest, now, you know what, I'll know what I'm hoping for Stephen Forrest is that this will be that moment for him. But the apology he initially shared and this video follow-up with Ricky, which I'll link in my description as soon as I edit this live stream, I don't know. But also I'm of the Pluto Virgo generation, so changing my point of view and recognizing where I was looking through a lens of privilege and thinking I was understanding, and there's a whole different level of understanding that I needed to get to. And that can still happen again and again and again and again. And I don't turn that into a failing. It's like, what is the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. What's the second best time to plant a tree? Today. So you can't go back in time as much as, yes, we actually can, but that's another live stream for another day, and change what you did, what you thought, what you knew, what you believed. You can start now and do better going forward. And so what I wish for this whole situation is that these active conversations keep happening and that we keep getting clearer on how we don't just show up as, oh, I'm not a racist, but actively anti-racist, because that's what's required. And it isn't just with racism, although that is what this particular conversation has been about. It's also how we are an ally in all the areas that require allyship. If you are a person of privilege, which if you live in a white-skinned body, you are, period. There are certain responsibilities that come with that include making the space safer for everybody else. And that means emotionally, mentally, and definitely physically. So there it is. What a wonderful time to be alive. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I so appreciate you. My next live stream will probably be next week, but I don't know. It's eclipse season, so it might not be. Can't remember. Go to bonniegillespie.com/events and you will find out when I am live in the future. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate you so much. Please take care of yourselves. Let this eclipse season change you for all the betters. And remember, always rest, hydrate, bubble wrap. We will get through this. We always do. Thank you so much for being here. Love you all. Take care.